Sent from Disneyland, history in our hand. So much to say about yesterday and the decades we have spanned. Postcards from the park, this journey will embark. See what has changed and what remains on Sent from Disneyland. Sent from Disneyland.
Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland, Disneyland history, and more, with mementos, snapshots, souvenirs, and postcards sent from Disneyland, from 1955 to the present. Let's start by thanking my patrons from Patreon.com. You can join in at any level to support the show and receive snail mail from my trips to Disneyland and from my desk, plus some sneak peeks and bonus content. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the rest of the e-ticket patrons, Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Bill Dreffel, Scott Cagle, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Angela Reynolds, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Grace Coate, Patty Wolin, Ben and Noel Bruning, and Greg Gorley. B-ticket patron Joshua Bell, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Angel DeBlock, Daps Magic, and the Beyond the Railroad podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has the People Mover underneath the Tomorrowland Jets. In the back, you can see the Matterhorn, and if you look closely, you can see one of the Skyway gondolas coming into Tomorrowland. On the back it reads, Tomorrowland, under the mighty Matterhorn, offers a spectacular backdrop to soaring rocket jets high above Disneyland's Tomorrowland. Below, the People Mover, a unique concept in transportation, prepares to take guests on an exciting tour throughout this fascinating world of the future. It's postmarked July 6, 1973, with an Anaheim cancel, and the postage stamp has been removed. I assume they visited the park on Wednesday, July 4th, 1973, when park hours were from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. The weather was a high of 87 and a low of 62. It's addressed to Anthony Holland of San Francisco, California. It reads, Wednesday. Hello to all. Had a full and busy day at Disneyland. Didn't stay for the fireworks, but we did see a few of them from a restaurant. My Aunt Winnie did get to come with us, so it was more fun. Be good. Love, Ethel. Walt Disney was already interested in miniatures and model trains. In March of 1954, he attended the California Hobby Show and saw a local flight club called FAST, First All-Speed Team. 2 of the members of the club wowed the crowd with miniature aircraft flying at speeds of 40 miles an hour. This led to the idea of Hobbyland in Disneyland's Tomorrowland. With the rush to open the park, some attractions and shows were slowly added over the first year. Tomorrowland had a lot of space to add new guest experiences. This included Hobbyland and the Flight Circle, also known as the Thimble-Drome. The postcard used for the section of this episode is where the Flight Circle would have been in 1955. The original Flight Circle was used by local hobbyists with remote-controlled cars, model airplanes, and boats. The performance area was an oval and fenced in. Mostly a circular flat-top surface, there was an additional section with a small lake for the watercraft. Looking at a 1956 guidebook, the location is listed on the map, but the attraction is not listed under the information sections, which includes exhibits, rides, and shows. There is a full-color photo of the Flight Circle, which has its original paint job with a circle cut into fourths and a multi-pointed compass showing north, south, east, and west quadrants. 20-minute shows were performed hourly during peak season, would include different remote-controlled or wired vehicles. Guests would gather around the chain-link fence to see the demonstrations. Young pilots would show guests how to fly U-control aircraft. These pilots were members of the local flying club. The founder of FAST was hired by Disney for a TV series called What I Want to Be. This was going to be the start of an episodic career guide to teach kids different occupations. TWA worked on the first episode, showing how an interest in flying model planes in competition could lead to a job as an airline pilot or hostess. No other episodes of this series were made, and the studio reallocated the time and energy towards the Adventures of Spin and Marty. Add some flair to your mail by checking out stamps at Enfield Post. You can explore different stamp options on our Etsy site, grab some great deals by following the EP Sunday Sales on Instagram, or create something special and have her design a stamp array for your invitation or celebration. You can head over to enfieldpost.com and explore all the different vintage postage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and enfieldpost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard has the submarine Nautilus coming out of the waterfall in the submarine lagoon. On the back it reads, "Submarine Falls. The mysterious depths of the legendary Seven Seas have been brought to reality for passengers aboard one of Disneyland's air-conditioned submarines. Guests enjoy looking through the portholes to view an underwater panorama of sunken treasures, mermaids, a sea serpent, and beautiful flora and fauna of the underseas world." It's postmarked July 17, 1965, with a Los Angeles cancel and a 4-cent Lincoln postage stamp, Scott number 1036. I assume they visited the park on Friday, July 16, 1965, when park hours were from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. The weather was a high of 80 and a low of 64. Park attendance that day was 36,560. It's addressed to the Sproggs of East Alton, Illinois. It reads, "Dear everybody, we went to Disneyland today and Knott's Berry Farm. We had a lot of fun at Disneyland. We went on the Matterhorn bobsled 3 times. We went on the submarine on this postcard, and many other rides. Love, Panu." Soon the Hobby Club was unable to continue running the flight circle, but then the Wen Mac Company came in to replace them. This brought more stability to the performance and quieter, more reliable engines. Another local manufacturer, Leroy Cox, contacted Disneyland and took over the flight circle in 1958, renaming it to the Thimble-Drome Flight Circle, sending his employees over to demonstrate and advertise the products available, including what was billed as the world's smallest model engine. The Hobbyland area was where guests could purchase the small engines, aircraft, and other related items. Looking at photos of Hobbyland in the book The Nickel Tour, this was an outdoor shop with a long rectangle with items for sale on both sides. I've mentioned this before, but the most notable or remembered event at the Thimble-Drome was during Disneyland's 10th broadcast, when William P. Suter, known as the Rocket Man, flew up from the flight circle using a rocket belt. He performed that stunt at Disneyland for a few weeks in 1965. Both Hobbyland and the Thimble-Drome were removed in January of 1966 to make room for the new Tomorrowland. The area became the People Mover entrance and exit, plus the new Tomorrowland rocket jets. The original Astrojets were nearby, between the Autopia entrance and the Thimble-Drome. My incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is a craft hour on Instagram, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 Pacific. Art Throwdown is a wonderful community of artists who love to share their craft, from creating sticker postcards and coloring techniques to intricate paper cutting and unique crafting. It's always a treat to watch a show and occasionally get some one-of-a-kind postcards from the group. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming postcard has a facade of It's a Small World with a pink giraffe leaning into the shot. At the top it reads, "Hi there from Disneyland," and at the bottom, "From Danielle and Anise." It's not postmarked, but was sent with 2 34-cent Statue of Liberty postage stamps, Scott number 3466. It reads, "Dear Clocky, sending you warm wishes from Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. A highlight of this visit was when we enjoyed the candy cane ice cream while watching the fireworks on Main Street. Happy holidays to you and your family, Clocky. Wish you were here. Love, Danielle and Anise, at Tiny Teacup Vintage." Thank you so much for the postcard, Danielle and Anise. I thought it was fitting to use this postcard since it was designed by Shannon from Going To Guides. And if you're listening to this episode on Saturday, October 4th, you still have a chance to join us at Walt's Garage on Sunday, October 5th. I know I'll run into many old friends and some friends I've never met in person. Also, it's a bit early to think about holiday cards, but I'll be getting mine ready to mail out just before Thanksgiving from the park. It'll probably be the last thing I do at the park this year. It takes a lot of time to be careful not to overflow all the mailboxes at Disneyland. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/sentfromdisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at sentfromdisneyland or my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent from Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney-related properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to the host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. This podcast is produced and edited by Clocky McDowell, website designed by Misty McDowell, theme song was written and performed by Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Take it away, Noah.